Indian classical dances with an emphasis on Bharathanatyam. Let me introduce myself. My name is Nandana. I live in Ellicott City, Maryland. I finished 5th grade and will be a 6th grader in the fall. My mom's name is Sumita and my dad's name is Ritesh. I chose Indian classical dances as my topic because I've been learning Bharatanatyam for over 8 years now. I love this art form and was so happy to know I got a chance to learn more about it. I'm going to introduce to you 7 main Indian classical dances now. The first dance is Bharatanatyam. Bharatanatyam is a dance popular all over India and all over the world. It originated in Tamil Nadu, a state in India. The second dance is Manipuri. Manipuri originated from the region Manipur. This dance is usually based on the life of God Krishna. The third dance is called Chow. I'm learning about Chow for the first time too. This classical dance has martial, tribal, and folk traditions from eastern parts of India. The fourth dance is called Kathak. The term Kathak derives from the word Kathakar, which means storyteller. Kathak dancers tell their stories through hand movements, extensive footwork, and mostly through facial expressions. Kathak evolved in Jaipur, Banaras, and Lucknow in India. The seventh dance is Mohiniyattam. Mohiniyattam originated and remained popular in the Indian state Kerala. Mohiniyattam gets its name from the word Mohini, which is an incarnation of Lord Vishnu. Mohini defeats evil using her girl power. The sixth dance is called Odissi. Odissi is a classical dance that originated in Orissa. The fifth dance is called Kuchipudi. Kuchipudi is named after a district in Andhra Pradesh, a state in India. The district is called Kuchipudi. It became very famous and is practiced by Indians all over the world. I will be explaining Indian classical dances through this sevenfold approach: texts and hymns, people, saints, and scholars, history, geography, meaning and why, practices, arts, and sciences. Enjoy! Let's start with some texts. The Natya Shastra is an ancient book written by Bharata Muni in the language Sanskrit. This book was written around 200 BC to 200 AD. It contains sections on various performance arts that include Indian classical dance and music. The text consists of 36 chapters with a total of 6,000 poetic verses. The subjects covered by this book include dramatic composition, structure of a play, construction of the stage to host a play, genres of acting, body movements, makeup and costumes, the role and goal of an art director, musical instruments, and integration of music with dance. There are many different versions of books in different languages based on the Natya Shastra, written by experts to make it easier to read. Another text on Indian classical dance is the Abhinaya Darpana. This book was written by Nandikeshwara in the language Sanskrit. Nandikeshwara's mother was blind. She hoped for an intelligent son. Nandikeshwara grew up to have a deep knowledge of Natya, Kala, music, history, and the Saundarya Shastra. The Abhinaya Darpana explains Pada Vedas, which is standing postures, Mandala Veda, which is half sitting posture and stamping of legs, Chari, which is different types of walks, Utpravana, which is leaping, Brahmari, which is different types of walking circles, Griva Veda, which is neck movements, Drishti Veda, which is eye movements, Shiro Veda, which is head movements. Asamyukta Hastas are single hand movements, and its uses. Hasta mudras were divided into 5 castes of that time: Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishnava, Shudra, and Navagraha. Devata Hastas and Dashavatar Hastas, which are Vishnu's 10 avatars' hand movements. These were made to help the dancer express what he or she is trying to portray. Now let's move on to the people category. All dancers are familiar with the Nataraja deity. Nataraja, also known as the Lord of Dance, is God Shiva in his cosmic dancer form. Nataraja is known as the source of all movement within the universe. The gestures of the dance show Shiva's 5 activities. The drum represents creation. The fear not pose of his front 2 hands represent protection. The fire represents destruction. The foot on the ground represents embodiment, and the foot in the air represents release. The little demon Nataraja is standing on represents ignorance. On the right side of the slide is the great sage Bharathanatyam. He gifted us with the Natya Shastra. Let's look at some important people who have contributed to the development of Indian classical dances. Rukmini Devi. When Rukmini Devi started her career, Bharatanatyam was not a respected dance. It was not appreciated by the elite community. So she worked hard to turn it into the popular Bharatanatyam we know now, and the very respected Bharatanatyam we know now. She trained generations and generations of dancers at her Kalakshetra Institute. Bala Saraswati made Bharatanatyam well known in many parts of India and in the world. Now let's move on to accomplished Kuchipudi dancers. Vempatri Chinna Satyam is known as the father of Kuchipudi. Yamini Krishnamurthy mastered Odissi and Kathak, but has chosen to stick to Kuchipudi and Bharatanatyam. Let's move on to accomplished Kathak dancers. Birju Maharaj is known as the master of the Kathak Indian dance form. Shovana Narayan is a well-known Kathak dancer. She is a student to the Guru Birju Maharaj. Let's move on to accomplished Odissi dancers. Kelucharan Mohapatra is a legendary Odissi dancer and Odissi teacher. He worked toward the goal of the dance's grand revival. Sanjukta Panigrihi was the first Odia woman to devote her life to the dance Odissi. She also worked towards the dance's grand revival. An accomplished Mohiniyattam dancer is Kalamandalam Kalyani Kuttiyamma. She devoted her life to turning Mohiniyattam from an extinct state to a mainstream classical dance state. Sinarak Rajkumar is an accomplished Manipuri dancer and teacher. Prasad Dubey is a renowned Chow dancer. Let's come back to Bharatanatyam. These 4 men are known as the Tanjore Quartet. They played a very important role in the evolution of Bharatanatyam. The person in the top right corner is Ponnaya Pillai. The person in the bottom right corner is Vadivellu Pillai. The person in the top left corner is Chinnaya Pillai, and the person in the bottom left corner is Shivanandam Pillai. Bharatanatyam was transformed from folk art into a structured performance art in the 18th century by the 4 brothers also known as the Tanjore Quartet. They formed the performance pattern in Bharatanatyam called Adavas. The video links for the Adavas are added at the end of the presentation. They revised Bharatanatyam into its present shape by introducing forms like Alaripa, Jatiswaram, Shabdam, Varnam, and Tilana. Let's move on to the category temples. The history of Indian classical dances are tightly connected to temples because most dances were first performed in temples. The Nataraja temple is in Tamil Nadu. in the city Chitambara. The temple wall carvings there display all the 108 karanas, which are poses. These are mentioned in the Natya Shastra by Bharata Muni. It is believed that Nataraja performed the cosmic dance in this temple. Where did Bharatanatyam start, you ask? Bharatanatyam originates in the state Tamil Nadu, where the state language is Tamil, but is very popular and there are many schools all over the world. A few temples that have great connection to Indian classical dances are the Khajuraho temple in Madhya Pradesh and the Jagannath temple in Puri, Orissa. It's interesting to know that there's an entire village called Kuchipudi. It has great roots to the dance Kuchipudi and it's just practiced all over the village. Here is a temple that has a Nataraja deity on the Gopuram. Let's move on to the category history. I've learned a lot about Indian classical dance's history, and it's so rich, and I'm so happy to share it with you. Let's start. It is believed that the knowledge of Natyam, which is dance, was revealed by Lord Brahma to Bharata Muni, the great sage who wrote the Natya Shastra. The exact date at which the Natya Shastra was written is unknown, but the estimate is somewhere around 200 BC to 280. In 200 BC, the Mauryan Empire ruled most of India. The original classical dance in the North India declined due to the repeated foreign invasions, and mixed dance forms replaced it. Fortunately, though, the dance traditions in southern India survived, where it continued to be encouraged by many kings and maintained by the temple servants. Evidence show that the rulers of the Chola dynasty and the Pallava dynasty were great supporters of this art form. This slide will be mainly about the history of Bharatanatyam. Bharatanatyam became an important part of the southern Indian temples around 300 BC to 300 CE. Temple dancers are known as Devadasis, Sadir, who were dedicated to serve the Lord as servants, performing the dance form and becoming an important part of rituals in southern Indian temples. Sadhanatyam evolved over centuries and became the basis of Bharatanatyam. An important milestone in the late 18th century was the changes made by the Tanjore Quartet. These changes shaped Sadhanatyam into the precursor of Bharatanatyam. When the British took over India, there was a big decline in Indian classical dances. Also, the precursor of Bharatanatyam was not respected among the elite class at that time. Later, great people like Rukmini Devi and Bala Saraswati turned Bharatanatyam into the most popular Indian classical dance that is globally loved today. Let's move on to the category meaning and philosophy. There are three meanings to the word Bharatanatyam. The first meaning being Bharata Natyam. Bharata means actor, and Natyam means drama, play, or dance. In the second meaning, the word is divided like this: Ba, Ra, Tha, Natya. Ba, which derives from the word bhavam, means emotions. Ra, which derives from the word ragam, means music. Tha, that derives from the word talam, means rhythm. And in this case, natyam means dance. And the third meaning, Bharatanatyam, is divided into Bharata and Natyam again. Bharata means India or Indian, and Natyam means dance. In this slide, I'll be talking about the connection between the four Hindu dharmic yogas and Indian classical dance. Karma yoga is action. This is the main yoga of Indian classical dances. Dance involves complex arm and footwork and impressive gestures. This yoga includes nritta, nritya, and natya. Nritta means body movements performed rhythmically. Nritya means portrayal of mood through facial expressions and position of arms and feet. Natya means dramatic element of the dance. Jnana Yoga is knowledge. The dancer learns a lot about Hinduism and its traditions during practice. It takes many years of commitment to learn a classical dance form. Bhakti Yoga is love and devotion. To dance properly, the dancer must have passion towards the dance. Dhyana Yoga is meditation. The dancer must have a calm and steady mind when she does a dance. Focus and concentration are a much needed talent to excel in Indian classical dances. How does Bharatanatyam benefit the dancer, you ask? Here are some benefits of Bharatanatyam. You can gain balance, gain flexibility, develop concentration, it benefits the heart, you can develop endurance and stamina, gain coordination, express perspectives of people through dance and emotions, and it strengthens the bones. The three people in the pose need coordination and concentration to make the pose look like one person with 6 arms. The girl has balance to stay in that pose long enough to take a picture. Let's move on to the category practices and rituals. Arangetram is a dance performed by a student who has finished her education of Bharatanatyam under an accomplished teacher. Namaskaram is a 20-second short dance done before and after dance practice to take blessings from Mother Earth and to apologize to her for having stamped on her so hard during dance practice. Here are some more practices. There are 4 types of Bharatanatyam: Melator style, Pandanalur style, Varavur style, and Kalakshetra style. The Melator style includes lots of expressions and requires lots of flexibility. Pandanalur style has 3 levels. The first level, being the easiest, consists of a lot of sitting poses. The second level consists of a lot of standing poses. The third level, the hardest, consists of fast movements and jumping in high speed. The Vairavur style has subtle acting and very quick movements are made to create suspense and tension in the audience. The Kalakshetra style is the modern style of Bharatanatyam. This style focuses on the hand movements called Angika. The hand and feet movements are choreographed based off of the lyrics on the music. The picture is a girl dancing the Kalakshetra style of Bharatanatyam. Let's move on to the category Arts and Sciences. The science of Bharatanatyam is an authentic explanation of the origin of the art and its elements like Adava, which is mainly footwork, Hasta, which are hand gestures, Veda, which is movements of the head, neck, and the eyes, Abhinaya, which is expressions, Tala, which is rhythm, costume, jewelry, and musical instruments. There is math and science in music. Music's tempo, beat, pitch, scale, and so much more. The picture is a chart of the double-handed gestures. This slide contains YouTube links to several different things in Bharatanatyam. single-handed gestures, double-handed gestures, 3 different adavas, Drishti Veda, which is eye movements, and a Bharatanatyam dance performed to God Shiva. We've reached the end of the content part of my slides. Here are some of the new things I learned from this project. The history of Bharatanatyam is so rich and entertaining. There are a lot of people who have contributed towards shaping the modern-day Indian classical dances. Bharatanatyam is a fun and interesting way to stay healthy. There are 4 different styles of Bharatanatyam. What did you learn from my presentation? I have categorized my sources with the 7-fold approach I told you at the beginning of my presentation. So on this slide, I have the sources I got for texts, hymns, and languages, and people. On this page, I have the sources to history and geography. This page has my sources to arts and sciences and practices and rituals, slide 1 and slide 2. Thank you for staying with me through this entire presentation. That's the end. Thank you.